talk constructively to yourself and not beat yourself up too much about it.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock-solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Walter, a lot of us have this self-criticism going on, right? Like we always judge ourselves more harshly than we judge others. So what have you done to overcome that and help other people overcome that?
Self-criticism.
Yeah.
I think self-criticism is a good thing, but if it reduces your self-esteem, I think that's a bad thing. So this would be for someone who has low self-esteem, right? So where self-criticism and maybe criticism or questioning of others about, say, your trading path or whatever that you're on is that the right thing? So sometimes people have like a spouse who questions whether trading is actually going to ever work, and so that can erode your self-esteem. So one of the things you can do for self-esteem is to write down the things that you do well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just want little victories and make it easy. So like, for example, let's say I'm a new trader and I've identified that the reason why my trading hasn't worked so far is because I've just gone in full bore without testing my strategy. So I decided I'm going to test my strategies. So what I want to do is set up a bunch of little victories, or little tiny milestones, and celebrate each one. So my first milestone is to create a strategy that I like. Okay, so I do my research and I create my strategy. So that's one, and celebrate that. Give yourself a reward. Number two, I go, all right, I'm going to test this X number of trades on X number of pairs. So I say I want to test 500 trades on 3 different pairs. And once I do that, that's another victory, right? And then based on my numbers, I want to see what sort of risk am I going to use with this strategy, given what the numbers are, and I'm going to trade these pairs. Again, that's another milestone. So just setting up milestones is a really good way to do that. And having the ability to show that you can do this. That was one of the things. So, for example, I was working with a trader and he was saying he was thinking about going to college, but really wanted to do trading. And he knew that his parents were going to be upset if he didn't choose college. And so I said, look, what you need to do is show them what's possible. Because from their point of view, they're like, if you go to college, then you'll be able to have a good income. That's their point of view. Go get educated. It'll be a good experience. And then you'll have ability to make income. And I said to him, if this is really what you want to do and you don't want to go to college, which I don't necessarily think is a bad idea, which is funny for someone who spent so much time in college. But anyway, so I said, what you need to do is show them that this is working. Now, he didn't have enough money to show them that he was making a good living trading. But I said, that doesn't matter. What you can do is show them the percentage, right? Because if you can show them a consistent percentage each month, you can say, look, I made 20% last month. I made 12% this month. So far this month, I'm up 5%. If you can just show them that, then they'll start to see this may work. Mm-hmm. So this is something that I would do if I was in low self-esteem. I'd set myself up with little victories that I can take. You can also seed your subconscious with subconscious downloads like subliminals. Inner Talk Store has some. Also, hypnosis tracks are quite good. You can go to hypnosis downloads. I have a one there for currency traders. If you go to hypnosis downloads, there's the currency trader one that I helped develop with those guys. So there's lots of different ways to hit it from different angles. But I think the easiest conscious method would be to give yourself little victories. Because if you have a skill, if you can show that you have a skill, and that skill is to do this with the markets, then that's really what you need. That's the most concrete example of that. And we know that from people like kids growing up. They may have low self-esteem, but if they have just one skill, whether it's, being able to play the saxophone, or if they're really good at running fast, or if they're good at basketball or artwork, draw, watercolors or whatever. All you need is just one skill that if you can take that thing and show that you're good at that, then that gives you the self-esteem that can make you feel, good about yourself. Right. So that's what I would do if I were in that situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Cool. Yeah. I mean, well, just thinking about talking about that college thing. Yeah. If I didn't go to college and I spent all that money on just learning how to trade, I would have gotten there a lot faster. But but anyway, yeah. I mean, I think one thing to add to that is maybe think of it as if you're talking to your friend. So like let's say that you did something wrong, you had a bad trade, you fat fingered a trade or whatever, and a lot of people will beat themselves up about it and say, oh, that's so stupid, whatever, right? But if you think about it, would you talk like that to a good friend? Probably not, right? So I think that's one way to frame it, is to talk to yourself in the same way you would talk to a friend or a family member, and really build it, talk constructively to yourself and not beat yourself up too much about it. And then yeah, I think that's a good place to start, and that can be kind of hard to do sometimes. I know in the past that would have been hard for me to do. So that's a good place to start, in my opinion.
One of the things that can happen is the catastrophic thinking, right?
Yeah.
So so you can snowball in your head and you think, oh no, I had a whole losing week. That means, what if I have a whole losing month? And then that means I'll be down on the year. And then, oh God, I can't, like, this isn't working. You can really sort of do that. And really what you need to do is pinpoint that when it's happening and just cut it off at the,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
soon as
yeah.
you can. Because the catastrophic thinking stuff is the woe is me, oh no, because X happened, then Y is going to happen. Well, that's not necessarily true.
Mhm.
Because I had 5 losing trades this week. Have I ever had 5 losing trades when I back tested? Yes. What's the losing percentage of the system? Well, it's 45%. Okay. So the chances of having you can calculate it out. The chances of having 5 losing trades in a row on a 55% win rate strategy are actually quite high. So in
Mhm.
fact, something would be amiss if you didn't have 5 losing trades in a row. So, all those sorts of things where you kind of want to flip it on its head and make sure that you're not going down that catastrophic thinking path, because that can be really damaging.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I don't think a lot of people realize how much that's ingrained into us from the education system, from our parents, from society, from television shows, the news. So just be aware of that. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a great point.
All right. Thanks, Walter.
Thanks.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.